My guest at this time is a veteran WWE referee and the host of It's All Greek to Me here when he is on the Wrestling Inc. Daily. It's Jimmy Korderas. Jimmy, welcome back to the Wrestling Inc. Daily.
Oh, thanks for having me back. It's always a pleasure coming on here, man. I appreciate you thinking of me.
Hey, we appreciate you coming back, man, and especially here. I love checking in with you between pay-per-views. We got WrestleMania on the horizon. We just had Fastlane just a couple days ago at this point. But before we talk about some of the story stuff, I want to get your reaction to what I think has been the biggest news of the week, and that was the fact that Andrade was able to get his WWE release, and it sounds like he hasn't confirmed it, but it sounds like he may not have a non-compete clause either.
That's what I don't know for sure because I don't know the inner workings of his contract, but apparently from what I have read, my understanding is if you let your contract expire, then there's no 90-day complete clause. But if you get released prior to your contract expiring, there is that 90-day no compete clause. So you can't go working for a rival promotion. I think there was like I said, from my understanding, from what I read, there's a special circumstance here for Andrade. They let him go out, whether that is a favor for someone else that he might be in a partnership with. I don't know, but they seem to be doing him a favor for some reason. And, hey, maybe it's just a goodwill gesture. Who knows? But if he's not happy, what are you going to do?
I don't really know that Vince is famous for his goodwill gesture.
Well, let me put it to you this way. I've been on the receiving end of some criticism from Vince, but I have never had what I would consider a terrible moment with Vince. Yes, I've been chewed out a few times for certain things in the ring and that kind of stuff, but at the same time, I wasn't on the receiving end of that kind of stuff.
Never mailed you your termination papers on your wedding day, nothing like that?
Oh, no.
We'll see a Punk reference for
that would be Johnny Ace.
So you look at the landscape now, though. Let's say hypothetically. I mean, we know he's released. Let's say hypothetically, he could show up anywhere he wanted any time. I mean, what would you like to see kind of Andrade doing in this moment?
A lot of people are speculating, of course, going to AEW and stuff like that. But I don't want AEW to look like the place that ex-WWE guys go to show, hey, they didn't use me properly. If they'd have used me properly, this is what I could have done. You're kind of feeding into a fixed crowd, if that makes any kind of sense. Okay. I'd like to see a little, at least AEW is expanding a little bit. They're working a little bit with NWA, it seems, and some Impact Wrestling. I'd like to see maybe Andrade go, again, depending on the circumstances regarding this pandemic situation, maybe go back to Mexico and get his feet wet again there, and maybe a little NWA, maybe a little Impact, something different, as opposed to being, hey, here's another ex-WWE guy coming to AEW.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, Los Ingobernables, the original faction, like him and Rush, that was in CMLL. So I think that's a great idea. Maybe to go revisit there and kind of get his head cleared, and that
yes,
sometimes does help.
Yeah, that's a perfect terminology, to get his head cleared, because it is for all the positives and negatives with WWE. It is a bit of grind. Luckily now, I don't know if it's luckily, but at least now it's not that road grinding schedule that they used to have, like when you had your live event house shows.
Sure,
you were on the road so much, but still, it is kind of restrictive there at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. You brought up, how it kind of looks like in AEW, there's a lot of guys that are, if they'd have just given me a chance, it would have worked, right? And that fixed crowd that kind of, gravitates towards those characters. We saw two big names like that, Paul Wight, Christian Cage, kind of within just like a week or so of each other, make the move to AEW. What'd you think about that?
A little bit surprising for me, because but at the same time, these are guys who have earned their stripes. Look, I don't know what the situation is with Christian, because I don't know, health-wise, whether WWE was just not willing to let him go full out or whatever, whether he was completely cleared. I don't know what the situation was with him.
Sure.
But he's one of those guys that maybe they offered him a position where he would be an agent, because he's got a great mind.
Yeah.
And you talk to anybody who's talked to him backstage, he's got a great mind, great psychology for this industry. And hopefully the guys there listen to what he has to say.
Yeah, I hope so
And
too. Yeah.
yeah, but maybe that was WWE's plan, was to get him to become agent or producer or whatever the title is now, and he wasn't ready for that. He wasn't ready to go out. He wants to go out on his terms, and maybe that opportunity was offered to him by AEW, and the same with Paul Wight, same with the Big Show. Here's an opportunity for him to. He loves the commentary stuff,
Sure.
and was there a place for him on commentary in WWE? They probably could have made a spot for him, but they're kind of set right now. And he's another guy who can go out on his terms.
Well, and that's kind of one of the follow-up questions I would have for you is, do you feel like WWE kind of has a blind spot right now for their legends? I mean, I feel like this is every, cycle this happens, right? Hogan, they didn't respect him. He left. He went and created something for himself. But, I mean, we're looking at these segments that Randy Orton segments with Christian and Big Show seem to have directly led to them maybe wanting to leave the company, where he dresses them down and calls them has-beens. Do you think there's a blind spot there with the company with how they treat their legends on TV sometimes?
I don't know if it's a blind spot as much as it is. Okay, how do I explain this? Not exactly sure on, collaborating with these talents, because obviously each talent has their own idea of how they want to go out and how they want to be remembered, and if this is their last run, this is the way I'd like it to go, and maybe they just don't. Let's, for lack of a better term, cooperate as much with that talent, and they have their own vision. Here's this guy, we've had him for a long time, he's a great talent, but now let's use him to get this guy over.
Sure.
And maybe that talent doesn't agree with the way they are using them to get that guy over.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, communication does largely seem to be at the root of a lot of these creative issues. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's bounce over a little bit to WrestleMania. We started off with Andrade, somebody who's not going to be a part of WrestleMania. According to Ric Flair, it would seem at least, is Charlotte. Andrade says that she'll be healthy here, but I know that they're doing like the tapings like a week early. So like, I don't know how quickly you could put her in there, but I mean, that's a big loss, Charlotte, if she is not to be a part of WrestleMania this year.
No, it's a huge loss because, in that women's division, you can make the argument that she is, the pinnacle of that division. Obviously, the women's division, WWE, on the top end is very good.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of those situations. It's something you're dealing with, this pandemic, this illness, that it's not like, okay, 14 days and we're ready to go. You don't know. It's such a question mark. So is she ready to go for the tapings? Maybe not, but you can always last minute insert and make it a big surprise. So if she's ready to go.
Well, but instead it seems like they're going with Rhea versus Asuka, right? I mean, these are two people that they have available. Rhea kind of seemingly just walking right into this WrestleMania title spot. Were you a fan of that?
Yeah, not really. I mean, like you probably know me, Nick. I like the storytelling. I like the title opportunities, as they call them, being earned over a period of time. Not walking in and saying, "Hey, I want a shot at your title." And the champion going, okay, you got it. And this being WrestleMania, this is how you get your WrestleMania main event title match. I mean, it lacked any build. If I'm not thrilled about how this match came about.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is like the Raw title pictures compared to the SmackDown pictures are night and day, right? I mean, what's your pulse right now on Lashley versus McIntyre? Do you think Lashley's just a guy they've been heating up here for 6 weeks? Just so Drew McIntyre can get a big win at WrestleMania here?
I hope that's not the case because I'm enjoying Bobby just like I was enjoying Drew last year when he was making his comeback, and now Bobby's finally found himself as well. This is going to be interesting because you mentioned the other title match with Edge, and we'll get to that. Anyway.
We'll get it. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. But
bring it up. That's totally cool too. Whatever. We're free.
No,
form here.
It's just that. See, this one's hard to peg. I don't want it to be that, like you said, hey, we're heating up Bobby, making him look good for this so that Drew can take him out kind of situation. But at the same time, Bobby won the title in heel fashion.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really been totally acting like a total heel, if that makes sense.
Do you think there's a chance they saw, I hate to cut you off, but do you think there's a chance they saw what he actually looked like with that title and with the packages and maybe, warmed up to the idea of Lashley champion a little bit? I don't know, anyway.
No, but I could see that could very well be because I like the look,
Yeah.
and he's getting he seems a little more comfortable on the microphone as well, which was maybe not one of his strong suits, but he is definitely improved in that department. What I could see happening here is Bobby making the eventual turn. If he does lose the title at WrestleMania to Drew, maybe it has something to do with the Hurt Business, the guys who are trying to appease him, costing him that title in some form or fashion. And that is where the unhappiness comes from. And you can move Bobby away from Drew after that and have him feud with his old buddies.
Oh, that'd be interesting. But it'd be a better payoff than what Retribution got breaking up there on the Fastlane pay-per-view kickoff show, right?
Exactly.
Man, I really think
Exactamundo, as somebody used to say.
I think that's the worst. Well, let's talk about Edge, and it's not just Edge and Roman Reigns anymore. Somehow, Daniel Bryan is found a way to get inserted here. You know, we'll find out. We're recording this and releasing it before SmackDown, but it seems an inevitability that Daniel Bryan is going to be inserted in this match and make it a triple threat. What do you think of that?
It definitely seems like that's the direction it's pointing in. And normally, I'm not a fan of three-way matches for the main titles especially at your biggest show of the year. But this one is telling a nice story, and it also is making it possible that Roman Reigns can come out of this. Because right now, let's put it this way: he's in a sweet spot right now. He is hitting on all cylinders. He is on fire. How do you keep the title on him without hurting Edge or Daniel Bryan? Insert Daniel Bryan into the mix. It's going to improve the match because now you've got three guys who can go and tell a hell of a story in this match, and you can find a creative way to keep the title on Roman Reigns. Either that, or as if you're going to take the title off Roman Reigns, again, he doesn't have to be the one who's pinned.
Yeah, gives you more outs. Yeah.
Yes. There's a lot more options here. And with the three guys involved, I'm anticipating a very good match.
It seems like you're in the camp of keep this belt on Roman Reigns, though.
Yeah, for right now, yes. I just think he's hitting on all cylinders, and it's not ready for that time for him to get to lose. In my opinion, not ready to lose the title and go into ballistic mode.
Yeah, because that is the thing. Like once you're doing normal shows again, I mean that should be a big crowning moment. Who's the guy that can knock this guy off the head of the table, kind of thing, right?
Exactly. No, I totally agree.
So what about Edge in this situation though, right? Like I feel like we're talking a lot about Roman and now Daniel, but Edge, he came back, he wins the Rumble, right? I loved the setup here. I thought, badass babyface and Edge, uber heel and Roman Reigns. I thought it was a simple story to tell, but now Edge is kind of like this tweener heel character going into WrestleMania. What do you think of where he's at right now?
I love that he's keeping people guessing. It's again, as a traditionalist, I do love the traditional established heel here, established babyface here.
Yeah.
But Edge has been throwing a few curveballs. Thank you to Daniel Bryan, who is, a babyface as well. And Edge is showing a bit of that, pardon the pun, edginess. You know what I mean? Like we're seeing that anger come out and we're seeing emotion. And that's what this is about. It's about getting people emotionally invested, and Edge, I think, is doing a good job at doing that. Now he's keeping people guessing. Is he going to go after if it becomes a three-way match? Is he going to take out Daniel Bryan first? Is he going to go after Roman Reigns, or Daniel Bryan and Edge going to collaborate to try and take out Roman? I mean, there's so many possible storylines, and it's keeping you guessing, and I like that.
What about Orton and Fiend here right now? Are you guessing? Are you enjoying Fiend 2.0? Like, what are your thoughts on what happened here?
I'm okay with it. I mean, yeah, people are complaining this is too, hocus pocus out of the. But you know what? It is sports entertainment. You got to have a little bit of everything. Like, for example, you need a little bit of a comedy. You need a little bit of seriousness. You need a little bit of outside the box. I don't have an issue with it because I love the way Randy is selling this stuff.
Okay.
Maybe the burnt up Fiend is a little bit over the top, but at the same time, hey, you're supposed to suspend disbelief. It's like when I go to watch Carrie or The Exorcist or something like that. Am I saying, yeah, but this can't happen in real life?
Sure.
No, I'm going to be entertained. So entertain me. As long as it's entertaining to me, I'm okay with it.
Is Shane McMahon calling Braun Strowman over and over again stupid? Is that entertaining to you?
To me, no. I
What's
just
happening?
I don't get why it's happening. I don't get how this, for lack of a better term, this marriage came about. I just think, yes, I get it. He's supposed to antagonize him, but at the same time, you can antagonize him without making it sound. Uh,
Yeah.
and I hate to say this, sophomoric, because Shane is better than that. Shane's a good talker. Shane can do that stuff. And I know people are complaining, well, Shane McMahon has taken a spot from somebody away from it. No, it's not. Shane McMahon has been there before. And I know he's going to sacrifice his body at WrestleMania and do something crazy with Braun. But at the same time, I don't think it needs to go in this direction. I don't like the stupid, maybe, if you can subtly make references like, you're all brawn, no brawn and muscle, no, you lack the intelligence.
No brain, something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines. Got but it. Using you're just stupid. Maybe just allude to the fact that your intelligence level isn't quite up to mine.
It does feel just like it was like a bet. I feel like between him and Pritchard, where he's like, "Can I just go out and do 8 weeks of the cheapest of cheap heat and work that into a WrestleMania match?" I mean, seriously, yeah. I'm with you. Where I'm just like, I don't get why. I don't understand the logic behind it.
Yeah, that's the problem. There has to be, and that's one of the things that gets people emotionally invested. Is reasons. Why did this happen? Why is it happening? And we're not getting those answers, other than the fact that. And don't get me wrong, I like Shane-O, but other than the fact that he's saying, he's stupid, just not getting me invested in this thing.
Yeah, and then he dumps Nickelodeon slime all over him.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your excitement level for TakeOver? What about the yellow brand?
Oh, that I'm very excited for that. I like the NXT brand because it kind of hits me in the sweet spot. That brand, it's kind of old school does meet new school, but they don't go too far either way. It's kind of a nice blend moving forward. I like the idea of Ciampa versus Walter. I think that could be incredible. And Adam Cole this week on NXT during that stuff with Kyle O'Reilly. First of all, I'm a fan of both of theirs, and I think this match again is. I hate to call it a sleeper because it's not a sleeper. These guys are going to deliver big time. It's just I don't think the fans that are very familiar with their past will understand that. This is I'm very much looking forward to NXT TakeOver.
And what's crazy to me is when I look at the 2 TakeOver nights here, like each night already has like 4 or 5 bouts that are like flushed out. I almost look at TakeOver and I look at where they're at kind of with WrestleMania, and I'm always a little bit more excited for TakeOver, as a fan this year than WrestleMania, which is a little weird to me,
No, I totally get that. And especially for hardcore fans, yes, I get it. WrestleMania is supposed to appeal to a larger audience, a more casual fan, and try to draw them in. But if you're a hardcore wrestling fan and you're not excited about this TakeOver, maybe you're not a hardcore wrestling fan.
What do you think about Bella Twins? That's the big news they broke just this morning, is that it looks like they could be returning to the ring as a unit here, possibly as soon as the fall.
Well, you know what? I always look forward to. They always worked hard, and it's just a matter of meshing with the new talent that they have there. I'm sure they will work hard to get to where they used to be in the ring. I don't have a problem with it. It's just, to me, it's again, veterans are, and I if I'm not mistaken, they were supposed to go into the Hall of Fame last year.
They'll be going in. Well, the 2020 class goes in sans Batista, who's no longer a part of it, but they'll be going next week or something.
Yeah. So here come former Hall of Famer, former legends, reinserting to help get newer, younger talent over. I hope.
Yeah, I hope so too. And the women's tag team picture, as great as Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are, that's about it, right? The women's tag team division on the main roster has gotten pretty thin pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely. No, totally agree with you there.
All right, last thing I wanted to ask you about, Jimmy, a little outside the box. So I had a chance to chat with a fellow Canadian PCO a couple days ago, okay? And PCO, he told me that he would like to do an 80,000 fan Ring of Honor show in Quebec at Olympic Stadium in 2022 or 2023. Now, he spoke a lot about like all the press he got to do as Ring of Honor World Champion. There's a lot of people he thinks could come out for that. If done properly, if backed by Ring of Honor, do you think that is a tangible goal for PCO here in the next 2 years?
It's difficult for any company now to get 80,000. And he's talking about doing it in Quebec.
Yeah, Olympic
Stadium.
Yeah.
I think that's a lofty goal. I hope he could pull it off. You know, if anybody can do it in Quebec, I'm sure with the help of some legendary Quebec wrestlers, he could probably pull in a big crowd. But I think 80. I don't mean to be negative about this, but 80,000 seems like a lofty goal.
That's, you know, he's already he like came back. He won the world. He's like, I want to come back. My big goal is to win the world title, and he did that, right?
Right.
I was
right.
like, what do you want to do next? 80,000 people, Quebec. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yours.
Good luck to him. You trust me. If he could do it, more power to him. I would love that he could, but man, that is lofty.
All right. Well, there will definitely be a clamoring, I think, on the other side of this pandemic. I expect for everybody to kind of bounce back real quickly. I think AEW, WWE will see big crowds. I think the indies are going to come back in a very big way a year from now, Jimmy. Yeah.
Yeah. People are starved for entertainment. Look, it's like any sport. You watch obviously, like I am up here in Canada, watching the NHL with no crowd there. Basically, people are dying to get back into the arenas to watch hockey live and stuff like that. So, wrestling is no different.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, Jimmy, where can people go find you, follow you, support you? This is a video interview. If you want to show off your cool new logos and everything, this is probably a great way to do that. Yeah.
Well, you can find me on all social media platforms. You can find me on Twitter at Jimmy Korderas. You can find me at Instagram at Real Jimmy Korderas, because apparently somebody else is Jimmy Korderas there as well. I don't know.
Sure.
Facebook, the whole bit. Now I am on Cameo. So if you want if you want a special message for a birthday, an anniversary, you just need a ref to settle a dispute, I am there for you. And also I have opened a Pro Wrestling Tee store, which now features Reffing Rant t-shirts. This isn't a t-shirt, but the missus, like I said, as I overachieved and outkicked my coverage, made me a special mug with the logo that's on the t-shirt. And I also have a different one, which I can't reach right now, but is it here? No, with Ducky on it.
Oh,
so if you go to prowrestlingtees.com/Jimmy the Ref, you can find the t-shirts there. And who knows, maybe the mugs will become available soon, or a hat or something like that.